Team of the Year is here, and it is time to build our best 11 from 2024. And there's only one person that I could ask to come on and do this with me. Leo's Goals, ladies and gentlemen!
I'm so hyped for this. Let's freaking go!
Your favourite duo is back, and it is time to vote for our Team of the Year of 2024. But let's get over the rules. JSM and Leo's Goals Team of the Year will be based on performance of footballers between January the 1st, 2024 and December the 31st, 2024. We're taking into account all the competitions from domestic form in the league to well as European performance. Any performance and trophies in 2023 or 25 do not count. It is solely based on 2024 performance only. The team will be a standard 4-3-3 formation, and me and Leo must agree on the player together to make the team. So without further ado, let's find out who will make JSM and Leo's Goals 2024 Team of the Year. Let's get into our Team of the Year, and we're starting with the goalkeeper. So here are the nominations for the Team of the Year goalkeeper, and Leo and me are as surprised as anybody. Alisson Becker and Lunin are nowhere to be seen. And they were my two best goalkeepers in 2024. Lunin came in at Real Madrid and stood in and took them to the Champions League final. And Alisson Becker is the most consistent goalkeeper in the world. And for me, that makes him the best goalkeeper in the world. I know Leo agrees with that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Honestly, when I saw the nominees, I was shocked that both of them weren't in there. So this is a tough choice. I think this honestly might be the toughest choice on the entire pitch.
I can't pick a winner generally. Martinez obviously won the Yashin, but Martinez is based on individual performances and saves rather than consistency throughout the year of 2024. People are hanging on to that save in the World Cup on Kolo Muani a little bit too much, but boy, he can make a save when he needs to. Let's go over the rest of the nominations. Global in 2024, a bit inconsistent, was great in 2023. Gulashi, I've no idea how he's wiggled the way onto the list. We've also got Menyon, and we got Unai Simeon.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. There's no major club this summer that signed him after the Euro performance, so I think that says something about him, you know?
Yeah, a lot of mistakes in his game. Was a great goalkeeper, obviously won the Euros. The final one is Costa. For me, okay, nothing special. So for me, it goes down between Martinez and Simeon.
Mike Mignon.
How about you,
Oh,
Leo?
really? Oh, for me, Mike Mignon. And it's not just because I want a French player in there, but it's also because he's just so complete. Like, really, for me, he's the one I look at if I was a club, you know, looking to sign the best future keeper because he's still quite young. I would go for Mike Mignon. He's so complete. He has that presence in goal. I've seen him live. You've seen him live. He is something special. And I personally, out of all those keepers, he's the one I would go for, Mike Mignon.
This is the problem. I think everybody is going to be voting Emi Martinez. I think that is based on the Yashin trophy. But in terms of consistency, Milan have been a little bit hit and miss defensively, and we'll come on to that with Theo Hernandez's shout on getting in the Team of the Year. So I'm happy to put Menyon in the 3. We'll rule out Simeon then, because obviously a Euros performance doesn't equate to being in the whole Team of the Year. You've got to be consistent, and he hasn't been for Bilbao. So it's between Martinez and Menyon.
Only thing I would say about Martinez, he's a top shot stopper, no doubt about it. And he's there in big moments, but playing out from the back, which is what so many teams do, I'm not sure that he's the best at that. And Mike Mignon, for me, is a lot more complete, so I would go for him.
I think the one on this that's leaning me to agreeing with you for Menyon, actually, is the fact that Martinez is based on individual moments and saves. I think he's a brilliant shot stopper of the ball. But when the shove comes to push, and consistency is key in football, as we all know, Menyon consistently is a better goalkeeper than Martinez. Martinez does make a lot of mistakes. People that watch the Premier League like me and Leo frequently, Martinez does make a lot of mistakes for Aston Villa. And Villa fans will not be hesitant on agreeing with us on this one. I think obviously Villa fans will want to get their boy in. It'll be the first ever Aston Villa player to get into the Team of the Year. And I think he's going to win the vote. I generally think he will be the Team of the Year goalkeeper.
Me too.
But for me, Leo, I'm agreeing with you. Our Team of the Year goalkeeper is Mike Mignon.
Let's go. So we got a Frenchie in there.
Mike Menyon is our Team of the Year goalkeeper. Let's head over to the right back. Right back, there are the nominations, and for me, there is only one that stands out. Leo, do you agree?
I mean, I think it has to be Carvajal. I mean, the fact that he was top 5 in the Ballon d'Or, the amount of trophies he won this season, obviously
he won everything.
He won everything.
Everything.
He won everything. He won everything, and he scored a goal too in a very important game. So yeah, Carvajal, I think it's not even without a shadow of a doubt he goes in.
Is there a case for Trent? Is there a case for Frimpong?
There's more of a case for Frimpong, I think, but I would go for Carvajal, and I think because we'll get onto the left back position soon.
Obviously, I agree that Frimpong deserves a good shout. Made the team of the year last year, unbeaten for Bayer Leverkusen, because obviously that counts because the season ended in 2024 and they finished unbeaten. Obviously, disappointing defeat in the Europa League final. Trent, a bit inconsistent, but on his day, we know how good Trent Alexander-Arnold is. I think he's heading off to Madrid, Leo. Do you agree on that?
No, I can't accept that.
I know what you want, but what do you think?
I think he's leaning more towards Madrid today, as of today, yes. But I don't want to accept the reality. I'm still in denial mode.
Well, we're going to go with the current Madrid right back, a nice and easy one. He won the lot, the Euros,
Definitely.
the Champions League, the La Liga, scored a goal in the Champions League final. It's got to be Dani Carvajal is our team of the year right back. Time for our two centre-backs. Now, let's get one out the way. Leo, who do you think deserves a shout at centre-back that is assertive to get into this team?
The best defender in the world, the best centre-back to ever grace the Premier League, Virgil van Dijk, without a shadow of a doubt, has to be in there.
And as a City fan, I agree with both statements that Leo just made. He is the best centre-back in Premier League history, and he's also the best current centre-back in the world. Just nothing gets past him. He's a pleasure to watch, even as a rival. And to think that we were actually potentially going to sign him, and we said 75 million was too much! Caladoon, what are you doing? Anyway, he's killing it for Liverpool. He has to be in.
Yeah.
Who's alongside him, though?
It's tough. I think it's a close one between Rudiger, because obviously they won La Liga and the Champions League. But then Bastoni probably deserves a shot as well. I personally don't watch the Serie A. I don't watch the Italian league that much. But from what I've heard, Bastoni is unbelievable. And
Bastoni
he
is
probably deserves a shot as well, you know.
back.
But I think I would have to go with Rudiger, just because when you win the Champions League, you win La Liga.
Are we not
says a
putting
lot.
Saliba in this
He's an important
conversation?
player
I know
at
he's
the
not
back.
won anything for Arsenal, but in terms of centre-back performance, are we not forgetting how good William Saliba actually is?
Yeah. He deserves
Obviously
a shot
French,
for sure.
Leo, the
but
French
I think
connection.
He's good. Yeah, the French connection. Yeah, but I think in the future he'll definitely be in the team of the years. I think when you look at his talent, he could be a future Real Madrid player. Who knows?
That's where I see him going.
Yeah, Saliba. I think Rudiger just goes above. I think Rudiger, because of the trophies won. You have to say that there were significant ones.
Do you know what's crazy? Saliba's younger than me and you.
It's crazy.
Mate, I feel old saying that. Old!
Me too.
So it's Saliba, Rudiger, or Bastoni. If possible, I'd like to eliminate Bastoni as good as he is. I think Saliba and Rudiger have had better years. I think he definitely deserves a shout. Maybe for the 12th, I don't know. Saliba performance, Rudiger both on trophies, and for that reason, I think I agree with you. I think we've got to go with Rudiger. Rudiger has the performance. I know Saliba's probably performed a little bit better, but Rudiger has the trophies. That's what Saliba doesn't have. That's what Arsenal are lacking. The corner merchants can't win a trophy. So, for me, it's Antonio Rudiger. Are we agreeing on that? Rudiger and Van Dijk are our team of the year centre-backs. Who gets past that? No one! It's time for the left back, and this might be the hardest selection out of the whole team of the year. Goalkeeper gave us no options. Left back, there has not really been a standout in the world for left back. Usually left back's quite an easy shout. Last year it was Theo Hernandez. Obviously Marshmello is very consistent on getting in the team of the year. There's about 4 players that can get in here. So Leo, I will let you debate first.
I mean, for me, this is a pretty clear choice, and
Leo,
I say
really?
it because Leverkusen have had because Leverkusen have had such a historical season that in positions where we can fit their players in, I think Grimaldo has to go in. The fullbacks, we gave Frimpong a shout out earlier. And I think Grimaldo has to go in because the fullbacks are so important in Xabi Alonso's system. And this has been such a historical season that nobody could have seen coming, that I think we have to put in Grimaldo.
So here's the comeback I have for the Grimaldo. Why doesn't he start for Spain? Why does Cucurella start over him and win the Euros?
I mean, that you could say the same thing. How does Trent not start for England? I think that's always tough with certain managers. But I think in the Leverkusen team, the role Grimaldo plays, the way he even takes set pieces, I mean, he's unbelievable, especially in the attacking side of things. So I think yeah, when you look at least club performance, wow, he's been something special. And you can't fault Kukurea either because let's be honest, if we saw him at the Euros, he wasn't
No,
so
he was
bad
very
either,
good at the
you know what I
Euros,
mean?
wasn't he? And
So,
came up with the most annoying chant
very
of
good.
2024. Play the clip.
Cucucucurea, se come una paella. Cucucucurea, se bebe una estrella.
That wins the award for the most annoying chant, bar none. Right, I want to have a little discussion about left back. There's 4 nominations for me that stand out, bar the rest. It is Grimaldo. He does deserve a shout, albeit I still think if he was as good as everybody makes him out to be, he would have started for Spain over Kukurea, regardless of whether national team managers have favourites or not. Listen, I think Trent should have started over Walker in the Euros. Eventually, he got on the pitch in midfield. Probably wasn't the right position for him. Should have started over at right back with Kyle Walker, and we've seen how Walker has faded off this season. So I agree with you. I think Trent should have started. He was a vital part in that England team. DeMarco for Internazionale. He is absolutely insane. DeMarco is so underrated for Inter. It's absolutely criminal how overlooked he is. I'm so glad he got in the nominations. He deserves a shout. The next one, Theo Hernandez. Now, I'm going to discredit Theo Hernandez from getting this Team of the Year. And I feel that if you vote for Theo Hernandez this year, you've not watched Milan, and you're going off the fact that he is the best left-back in FC25. He is by far the best left-back in FC25, but he has not done it on the pitch, and even Milan fans that I've spoken to in Italy when I went over agree with me. Theo Hernandez should not be in this Team of the Year. If you're voting for him, it's based on FIFA. You're wrong. Here is who I think deserves it. It is Josko Gvardiol. The fact that he is City's second top goal scorer this season proves, number one, how bad we've been. Don't get me wrong, we've sucked. Okay? But how Gvardiol has stepped into that role, into that left-back role, and made it his own is absolutely sensational. If we don't lose that penalty shootout against Madrid, it's a lottery. We go on and win the Champions League. Simple as that. But we didn't. Okay? But Josko Gvardiol, in terms of player performance, in terms of goals, in terms of assists, in terms of long shots, in terms of defending, for me, I am starting a movement. Josko Gvardiol deserves the Team of the Year left-back spot because no one else does. Like, there hasn't been a standout. There's been good left-backs. Grimaldo's been great, unbeaten for Leverkusen. DeMarco's been great for Inter, but there's not been a standout. Josko Gvardiol takes it. But it's between Josko Gvardiol or Grimaldo for our Team of the Year.
It's tough. That's a tough choice, because I saw Ben Doak totally tear Guardiola apart as well in the last internationals. So that changed my opinion a little bit. No, but it depends. Who do you think is more important? Because I do think Grimaldo for Xabi Alonso
Grimaldo's more
is
important.
such a key player. That's the thing, you know what I mean? And as good as Guardiola has been, like you're saying, it just feels to me like Grimaldo in this Leverkusen team that had such a historical season. He really was one of the key components.
It's not a JSM Team of the Year. It's not a Leo's goal. It's a together Team of the Year. And Grimaldo has done enough to get in, based on his performance at Leverkusen and the fact that he went unbeaten. Obviously, Gvardiol was my personal choice. But for me, I think I will be outnumbered in the comments, and I will be I'm being outnumbered now.
Fair play.
I'm happy to sacrifice and go with Grimaldo for our joint Team of the Year.
Fair play, bro.
I mean, he went unbeaten. He's a great player. It's not exactly like he's a bad player.
Yeah.
So we're putting him in.
Yeah.
Alex Grimaldo is our Team of the Year left back, but Gvardiol deserves a shout.
Let's go.
On to the midfield. It's time for the best player in the world to enter the Team of the Year. Surely it's Rodri at CDM, yeah? The Ballon d'Or winner. The best player in the world. We're getting a City player in there. Yeah!
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, no, this position, this is the one where we don't need to have much of a debate. And I often get asked which player in world football would I want to bring to Liverpool. Obviously, now he's injured. But before the injury, I always said Rodri. I think he's one of them players where unless you see him in your team, and look at City this season, you see him, the difference he makes in your team when he's not there.
Oh, yeah, we capitulate.
Because he doesn't do the sexy things all the time, but his presence is instrumental in whatever team he plays.
City absolutely capitulate without Rodri, and it quite clearly shows. We played without him 5 games last season, and we lost 4 of them. And now, obviously, look at us, we're like 6th. So we are missing him. Arsenal did a job on him, and I'll never forgive them for that, for Partey for doing that. So hopefully he heads back to Spain
Yeah.
and they can catch him. But for me, it is Rodri. He goes in the team of the year, the Spanish national himself, best player at the Euros, best player. Well, the Club World Cup doesn't count because that was in 2023. So it's the best player at the Euros, the Ballon d'Or winner himself. Gotta be. Rodri is our CDM in our team of the year. Time to move on to the centre mids. Time for our 2 centre mids. Now, the first one I think we're going to both agree on. But the second one is a 50-50 shot between players. Now, I just want to pick a bone with EA. Okay. Why is my ginger brother, KDB, not even nominated? I'm going to have you for breakfast.
Because he's never fit.
Nah, he changes games. He still changed games in 2024. And he won the 4th in a row. Anyway, right. Bone picked. Time to move on. Right, surely Jude Bellingham's the first one, yeah? Do you agree with that, Leo?
Jude Bellingham's not in the team here. Jude Bellingham's not even there for me. I've gone for 2 attacking midfielders.
Okay, who have you gone with? Do the first one.
So I've gone for Florian Wirtz, and I put him there first because we talked about that historical season, and he probably is the key difference maker in that team, and there's a reason why any team in the world would want to sign him, and he would start for any team in the world. The way he's come back from his injury as well. Funny enough, that was
my second player.
Florian Wirtz.
That was my second.
And again, since we're just looking at 2024, that historical season just has to have a major talent in it. You know what I mean? So for me, Florian Wirtz, without a shadow of a doubt, and then Cole Palmer, you have to fit him in somewhere. You have to fit him in, and for me, just a lot of people that have been watching the Premier League the last 16 months, for example, would say that he's been the best player alongside Mohamed Salah. And he's doing it. He did it in a very poor Chelsea side. Obviously, now they've improved this season. But he was doing it in a very poor Chelsea side. And so,
now
me,
you've said the picks. I'm not opposed to it. But it's just Bellingham helped Real Madrid get to that final. Real Madrid didn't have a striker until Joselu came in and scored 2 goals against Bayern Munich. He had to cover the whole season at centre forward, at number 9, at number 10, wherever he was playing. The versatility of how good Jude Bellingham was in 2024. Mate, he was smashing records in January in 2024. He was a top goal scorer in La Liga. Everyone was loving him. Obviously, he dipped a little bit in March, April, but the league was wrapped up. Went missing a little bit in the Champions League quarters and semis, I do have to admit, but still decent performance enough. But that's where I think Cole Palmer takes it in terms of individuality performance. But you can't deny he had a great Euros. He scored an overhead kick to keep England in the competition against Slovakia. He had a fantastic Euros. And he started the 24-25 season exceptionally well. Scored another last-minute winner going into this recording against Valencia. For me, he's got to go in. He's got to go in. Florian Wirtz was my second player because I thought he was the best player at the unbeaten Leverkusen team. And if we're putting Grimaldo in, we're putting Florian Wirtz in. I think Florian Wirtz goes in. He's definitely getting in. We agree on that one. So now it's between the English boys. Obviously, Cole Palmer scored in that final. I know we lost. Great finish. Bellingham did get the assist, though. So it's Bellingham or Palmer.
No, I think honestly, with the way that we've gone for the team, and you look at the success in 2024, we probably do have to go for Jude Bellingham. As good as Palmer has been, maybe if he had started at the Euros from the start, it could have been a different story. Do you know what I mean? He should have. He definitely should have. But yeah, I mean, if you look, like you said, what I love about Jude Bellingham is he's so gifted technically, and yet he's one of those players that will run for you no matter what. He will play anywhere for you on the pitch. And that's rare to come by in a superstar team like Real Madrid, you know? So I would be willing to accept Jude Bellingham.
If I'm giving you Grimaldo over Cavani, I think you've got to give me this one, Bellingham. So are we agreed that Florian Wirtz and Jude Bellingham are our 2 midfielders in our team of the year? Time for the forward 3. There might be some disagreements here, but I don't think there's going to be any disagreements on the wingers, especially from you. No. People are putting in Mbappe in at right wing, desperately trying to include him. I think he will be in there somewhere. Not going to reveal where. Right wing's got to be Mohamed Salah. quite
Yep.
easily.
This is
And
the
I
year
think
he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. This is the year
Well-
he's going to get recognition from everyone
Well,
because of the way that he's, especially the second half of 2024. Okay, I'll be honest.
Oh,
The
yeah,
second half of
definitely.
2024, he's been on just a different level. You know what I mean? So I'm really, really hoping that this is his year to win the Ballon d'Or because the way that would cement his legacy among the best players to have ever played, and maybe he'll go down as the greatest Premier League player ever. But I think, yeah, there's no doubt that he's
that's a
that
good
right
statement.
winger.
I like that statement. It's a controversial statement. I would definitely say he's the best right winger in Premier League history, without a doubt. The best Premier League ever is interesting. You get a Ballon d'Or
I think
in
if
him.
he signs that new deal,
Maybe.
if he signs that new deal and he gets a Ballon d'Or,
But he
I
said
think
it's
there's a
his
good
last
chance.
year.
yeah, but nah, he's gonna extend. There's no better place for him to be. I'm
Well-
confident.
Manchester is wonderful. So it's Salah. I think we're in agreement. Obviously, I'm
Yep.
talking to Leo, the diehard Liverpool
I'm not
fan.
gonna disagree with that.
Of
I'm
course
not
you're not
gonna
going to disagree with that. Left wing, what are we thinking?
I mean, I think this has to be Vinny. This has to be Vinny. And again, we talked about you said the big goals in the Champions League. That's what he does, Vinny. He might not have the output of a Mohamed Salah, but in big games, what you can say is in the Champions League, he has stepped up for Real Madrid time and time again.
Yeah, it's got to be Vinicius Jr. Quite simple on these two wingers. It's Salah and Vinny for me. And if you disagree, you haven't watched football in 2024. I think you're absolutely outrageous if you disagree with both of these posts. Now, to the people that think that Vinicius Jr. was robbed for the Ballon d'Or, you're wrong. That's not because of the colour that I'm wearing. Both players deserved to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yep.
Both were amazing.
Both.
Rodri on winning
Both.
as much as he could other than the Champions League, and Vinicius Jr. for doing what Vinicius Jr. does, and that's cooking teams and winning major trophies.
Brilliant.
Either player
Brilliant.
could have won it. If Rodri hadn't won it, Vinny wouldn't have robbed Rodri. If Rodri did win it, which he did, Rodri didn't rob Vinicius. Both deserve to win. Only one can win,
Absolutely.
and Rodri picked him to the post. So pipe down and stop crying. Vinicius was amazing, don't get me wrong, but only one player can win. No one robbed each other. One player picked the other to the post.
Absolutely.
So, Leo, do you agree with that?
Definitely, 100%. 100%. And it's one of them where there maybe was more outrage because Vinny plays for Real Madrid and Real Madrid seemed to cry about absolutely everything.
I thought
So
the way
that's
that Real
probably
Madrid
why.
conducted themselves at that ceremony was a disgrace. They quite happily showed up when Vinny wins the award, but when they don't show up. So, bit disrespectful there, because City would have showed up regardless of whether Vinny won it or not. Listen, Vinny could have won it on another day. He was more than deserving of winning it. So was Rodri. Only one player can.
Yep.
But there's no doubt he goes in our team of the year. He's absolutely fantastic. What a baller.
Brilliant player.
So our left wing is Vinicius Jr. and our right wing is Mohamed Salah. What a pair of wingers that is. Striker, the final spot before we choose our 12th man. And this is interesting. There's so many nominations here. But I also want to talk about, how have Messi and Ronaldo been nominated again? Please stop hanging on to nostalgia. It nearly broke me that they got in it last year. Oh, dear me. If they find a way to wiggle it in this year, I will genuinely lose interest with the team of the year. And I don't
That's
want
the
to.
tough man.
I love doing the team of the year. But no way. Listen, they're the best players to ever play football, in my opinion. But there's no way we're getting them in. One's in the MLS and one's in the Saudi League. So please don't hang on to nostalgia. Vote fairly. Leo, do you think Messi and Ronaldo deserve to be in this team of the year?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But they obviously both are having impacts in like a retirement way, you know. But
Yeah,
at
but
the
it's not
highest
team
level,
of the year
definitely not.
worthy, is it?
No, not team of the year. Not team of the year.
So, we've got Mbappe, we've got Gyökeres, we've got Lewandowski, and we've got Erling Haaland. They're the four for me that I've picked out from the nominations. Leo, am I missing anyone?
And
there?
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, yeah, Harry
he
Kane,
scored
okay.
a lot of goals.
So there's your five. Leo, I'll let you kick it off.
I've gone for a choice, and I think it's without a shadow of a doubt. And you're not going to be happy with it because it's not Erling Haaland, but I think Gyökeres, bro. Gyökeres scored 62 goals in 63 games this year, the calendar year of 2024. Those are ludicrous numbers, and he deserves to be in the team of the year for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable the levels of consistency he's found. And you saw what in the Champions League, he's doing it too. You saw what he did to City in the Champions League.
Oh, yeah, he cooked us.
He's
He
a big
hat-tricked us,
player.
man. Well, two.
And there's a reason why he's a 100 million plus player now. That's his worth.
He's going to go to Man United, let's be honest. It's just going to happen inevitably.
God, nah.
It's going to happen, Leo. It's Amarin. It's going to happen. It's just when. If it's not this month, it'll be in the summer. Team of the year, though? I'm not doubting he scored the most goals in the calendar year, right, with 62. But it's the Portuguese league. Are we seriously consider putting someone...
Yeah, because no one's done that before, even in the Portuguese league. I can't remember a player in the Portuguese league doing those kind of numbers.
Since Ronaldo, crazy. To be honest, for Sporting.
That's special talent.
What about your best mate?
I think not quite this year. This wasn't his best year.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Only one legal. Didn't really.
He'll definitely be
Euros.
back. Yeah, he'll definitely be back though, but not for this year.
Oh no, I think it might be next year. He's starting to cook now a little bit at Madrid since 2025 has opened up. Obviously, there was a lot of criticism for Mbappe this year, and at times he deserves it. At times he didn't. I don't think he had a good Euros, only tucking away a penalty in that game in the tournament. So. Only winning Ligue 1, which is expected if you're playing for PSG. Harry Kane's trophyless, and for me had a very, very poor Euros. Very poor Euros. I know he scored in one of the group games against Denmark, but for me, he had a really... And England looked better when Kane was off the pitch. That was my little take from watching England at the Euros. When Watkins came on, we looked so much better. We can't forget, obviously, teenage sensation Lamine Yamal deserves a shout. Doesn't deserve to get in. If you watch Barcelona, he's too inconsistent, and that's with age.
Really?
The guy's he's 17. Yeah, he's a bit inconsistent in La Liga actually.
Really?
One minute he's the best player in world football. Next minute he can't hit a Ballon d'Or. Like, if you look at Barcelona's results as well, they're quite reflective of the way that the team plays, and that's quite reflective on how Yamal plays. For me, other than Dani Olmo and Rodri, who was the best player at the Euros, without doubt, had the best tournament, was fantastic. So glad that they started Nico and Yamal rather than Oyarzabal and somebody else. I was quite worried for Spain going into the tournament, but they went with the youth and they got it right and they won it. But I don't think he's a shout for Team of the Year, Yamal. But what a player.
Really?
Experience.
I think... I feel like again, I don't watch La Liga enough, but I spoke to some Barca fans actually when I was in Spain for the Liverpool-Girona game, and they were telling me that Lamine Yamal, when you watch him in real life, you realize that he's different class, even more so than on television. And so, and really the points, a lot of the points dropped for Barca this season was when he didn't start. Like, that's how important of a player he is already. So
I was at the game where he scored against you, that banger against Le Francais. Sorry to bring up bad memories,
God,
but
that was a crazy goal. Crazy goal.
Cooked in that game.
For me, we're gonna talk about the 12th man, next. But for me, he's up there for that one. But
I think
down the middle, I do agree.
I do think he's up there, but I just think he misses out.
But for me, down the middle, it has to be Gyökeres, and I say that because you say it's the Portuguese league, but show me another calendar year where someone scored 62 goals in 63 games. That's ludicrous. I don't care what league. Like in Ligue 1, people don't do that. Like, this is not normal whatsoever.
Also, how's Dembele there? How's Dembele been nominated for this? Please, somebody tell me. Please.
Jonathan David, though, scored 40. I think it was 47 goals this year, which is pretty impressive.
For your local. He's a baller. Yeah, I like him.
For Lille. So shout out to Lille.
I think City are quite interested in signing him.
On a free. He's going to be available on a free. Lookman deserves a shout too, honestly.
Lookman's been brilliant. Now, I'm not saying that Haaland deserves it. Obviously, I don't think Haaland deserves it. I think on another year, Haaland could get in. I think Haaland will get in. I think the most votes that I've seen knocking around is the fact that Haaland's in there. I think Lewandowski deserves it, personally. I think he's been absolutely sensational.
But the problem is the way he ended the year. And not just that, but the way he ended the year, I don't know.
It wasn't. After the 2 goals at the Bernabeu in the Clasico, missing the hat-trick, he's kind of fell off, hasn't he? This is really, that's really pretty important. Tough. Really
for me, tough. It's gotta be one man. Gotta be. And another thing to cement this argument is the fact that he's doing it in the Champions League too. And I know now since Amarin left, their form has died down a bit. But again, in the Champions League, Sporting are in a good place. So, and if you're telling me of all those strikers, who would most teams want to sign as a striker? Because Lamine Yamal isn't a striker.
Right, let's go over the strikers again. Right, we got Haaland.
Yep.
He's close.
Yep.
He's close, but in terms of goals, you take Gyökeres, man. Like, Haaland's been a bit inconsistent. Started the year well, ended the year horribly. Ever since the stay humble age, he's really... Well, he's been humbled.
Yeah.
Watkins, no. Son, no. David, no. Good striker, but not team of the year.
No.
Lacazette, don't know how he is there. Are we discounting Kane a bit too easy? I just think the fact that he's trophyless again and scoring goals easily in the Bundesliga and had a very, very bad Euros, I don't think he deserves it. I think people putting Kane in is going off numbers rather than performance.
Yeah, you would know better for the Euros, and then the Bundesliga I don't watch enough. But again,
it's terrible.
I just go back to for me it's Gyökeres. I'm gonna hold on to that.
Scored a tap in and a penalty. Obviously the penalty was big, but shouldn't have been a penalty anyway. Marmarouche, who might be signing for City. I do like him for Frankfurt, but he's not team of the year quality, is he? Yeah. Gnabry for Dortmund was decent. This will obviously be his performance at Stuttgart, but not enough for me to get in the team of the year. Yep. Undav, no. Aponda, no. Martinez deserves a shout. Won the Serie A. Scored the goal in the Copa America final. I think we overlooked Martinez a little bit, but I just don't think... I'd rather go with Gyökeres actually over Martinez.
Yeah, me too.
Vlahovic, no. Lookman's a good shout, but not for a striker. I think he's a better winger. Scored a hat-trick in the Europa League final off the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Thuram, no. Dobrik, no. Lamine Yamal, probably him or Gyökeres or Lewandowski, but Lewandowski fell off. Mbappe, no, not for me. You're voting on him to be the best player in FIFA if you're going with him. And when Leo's best mates with Mbappe is saying that he doesn't deserve to get in, I think that's everything you need to know. And then you've got...
with everything you just read out loud there, for me it's between Lamine Yamal and Gyökeres. Those are the two.
I think it's Gyökeres.
Yeah.
I really tried my best not to put him in because he scored... Yeah, great numbers in the Portuguese league. This is a joint team of the year, and the fact that he scored the most goals, and he's been doing it in the Champions League as well. Oh, there isn't anybody else that shines. No. Haaland is probably who's going to win the vote, but Gyökeres deserves a very good shout. And for the 62 goals, I will concede. I will let you put Gyökeres in our team of the year. So on to the 12th man. Which player deserved to get in but missed out? Leo? What do you think? Who are our little nominations going to be?
Yeah, I think we're not going to have too much to debate here because I think there's one position that we spent a lot of time on, and it was whether Cole Palmer would get in or not. And I think that says everything. The fact that it was really tough to leave him out, we had to put Jude in.
Yeah.
But I think Cole Palmer, I mean, we looked last season, Chelsea were so bad, and he really stood out. And now Chelsea are improving, and he's still the star player. So
goal in the Euro final as well. He was just superb.
And goal in the Euro final, and I think most England fans as well were so frustrated with the fact that he didn't start earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, me being one of them. Me being one of them. I was literally doing that in the stands at every game. Please, bring him on.
Yep.
Listen, I love Phil Foden, but he had a pants Euro, so the fact that he kept going out to Foden was a little bit annoying. I can't lie.
Yeah. So I think it probably has to be. I think it's between Cole Palmer and Lamine Yamal. Honestly, I do agree.
I do, but I just think that inexperience isn't. He's He's so close to being there, but he's not there yet. He's a year off, and the fact that he's 18. He's got every right to be a year off. He's 18 for Christ's sake. He's a very, very good player at 18. He's going to be a star for the future. For me, it's Cole Palmer. For me, the 12th man's Cole Palmer.
Yeah, me too.
It's not Mbappe. It's not Haaland. Gvardiol deserves a shout, but we're not going to give it to a defender. It's Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer is our 12th man in Team of the Year. Do you agree with that? So there it is. It's JSM and Leo's Goals' FC25 Team of the Year based on performance in 2024. Let's go over a final recap. Goal, Mike Maignan. At right back, it's Danny Carvajal. Virgil van Dijk and Antonio Rudiger make up the back two, with Alex Grimaldo at left back. The midfield is Rodri, Jude Bellingham and Florian Wirtz, with a front three that is frightening, with Momo Salah and Vinicius Jr. taking up the wingers. The striker, goal machine himself, Vincent Gyökeres for Sporting Club de Portugal. And our 12th man, the none other than cold Jermaine Palmer.
That was good.
You happy with that team,
Damn.
Leo? I think that team could beat
Damn,
anybody.
you pull. I'm your presenting skills there, presenting that team first go.
Thank you very much. Yeah, first take.
I think
as
it's
well.
a great team, though.
Top
I think
team.
that's a great team.
I don't think any improvements can be made. So do you agree then with mine and Leo's team of the year? Make sure to head over to EA.com and have your vote. Please cast your vote. Whether you agree with us or not, you need to, everybody has a say. You need to go and vote. So, it's been a pleasure. This is annual. I'll see you next year for our Team of the Year 2025 vote.
Let's go. Thank you for having me on again.
Not a problem. It's your go-to duo over and out. Team of the Year is here.